Hey guys, Red Wolf here, a former Russian psychologist. I'm going to break down this men's rights movement video.
You know, I have to applaud Janet to a certain degree because I think men have lost their rights in certain issues, domestic violence, sexual issues. You are guilty.
Called the Violence Against Women Act, not
You're
the Violence
presumed
Against
to be
Family
guilty,
Members Act.
and I mean that's not right. And so these are horrible problems that exist, and many times men are at fault. But we just assume that men are guilty without any proof.
Men can accuse women of domestic violence as well and play falsely and
Exactly.
do the same thing.
So that is the point. That is the point that I'm trying to make. That all those issues can work both ways.
Right, that's the point, Doctor, that gender isn't going to tell you anything about who's being falsely accused, who's guilty of domestic violence, who's guilty of initiating a divorce.
This is the great woman. She speaks with facts and not using emotions and feelings. Men suffer greater and treat unfairly within criminal and family courts. Men keep just saying we need 100% fair laws and no special treatment for one gender over the other. We all should be treated equally within the law.
Gender doesn't tell you anything meaningful about that. I'm not oppressed just because I'm a woman.
Right.
Lots of men are oppressed in some very real ways. Gender doesn't give you a significant way to understand those issues. We need a bigger, broader, more inclusive, more human way to tackle these issues.
In life, all you really want is the individual choice to be who you want to be and to be given all the opportunities. And then when there's any scenario where any individual in any way, shape, or form, for whatever reason, is not allowed those opportunities, that's problematic, and we always need to fight that. And in your opinion, you think men are being, look, that's fine. And we should talk about all these things, because...
And I think in some cases they are.
Well, what about...
It's not just her opinion, and it's not just some cases. There are statistical data, and there are many cases.
You mentioned,
Maybe.
you know, in terms of pro-choice, women have the ability to choose whether or not they want to move forward with a pregnancy, but men don't have that choice whether or not they want to be a father or support that child if the woman chooses to have the child. And that made me think, you know, I don't know. Well,
Women have 15 variations of contraceptives, and she never forced to pay any child support. Thus, there are no consequences for her actions. So she could act irrationally and irresponsibly.
I think also a lot, you know, I'm the mother of a son and a daughter, and I think that it does change your whole paradigm when you are a mother of a boy versus a girl, because these issues take on a different significance. They do. And I think that whether you're talking about religion or race or gender or anything, you know, your occupation, whether you stay at home or choose to work outside the home, I think it's a slippery slope if you make a generalization. And I think that being a mom has really taught me so much. I mean, I think there's nothing like trying to elevate your game, right, when you are a parent, and it does shift your whole mindset about this. And I think it's not one extreme or another. We have to just settle somewhere in the middle, I think.
We were talking about reproductive.
See, when it directly could affect her life through her son, it makes her think. Meaning, if his girlfriend gets pregnant but he is not ready to be a father, he could be forced to become one no matter what, and this will affect her directly and significantly.
Reproductive rights. You know, it's not just about women's right to choose. Every single state in the U.S. allows women a certain amount of time to decide if they wish to parent the child they have given birth to. In North Dakota, they have a full year to decide if they wish to assume legal, moral, financial, social responsibility for that child. If they don't, they simply surrender it and all their obligations end. they're done.
You mean they give it up for adoption?
Yes.
Yes, it's called a safe haven law. No man in the US has the right to opt out of parenting a child he has biologically contributed to. And even worse than that, he doesn't have to be the biological father. He can still be held responsible. If you don't see that as a gross unfairness,
They choose who they sleep with. They choose if the kid will be born. And they choose even if they want to keep the baby or just give the kid for an adoption and never pay for the baby. They can just opt out being a mother with zero liability. But there are cases where the men are not biological fathers and they forced to pay for the kids that are not theirs.
I'm not sure you know what fairness means.
Well, and look, there are a lot of things in life that we know aren't fair. I still think we've made a lot of progress.
We have.
And we need to continue to have these conversations. Janet, I know you've used a lot of strong words, and I don't agree with a lot of your headlines. Just going to be frank with you, but certainly you bring up a lot of interesting points. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Either he is afraid to agree with most of what she is stating and using facts and statistics because he doesn't want to lose many of his audience, thus money, or he just soy boy who doesn't want to support the truth and want to obey and serve his female master. It's more than just fair or not. It's about total control of one gender over the other, and one gender have more power and rights over the other one, to have more privilege over the other one. Comment, subscribe, like, and remember guys, open your mind.